Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. So I am here today to do a video that I have done before at least once, called These Books Will Self-Destruct, and it was moderately successful. Mostly I just ended up unhauling a lot of those books. And then I think I thought about doing it last year and then didn't actually follow through with the video, but I don't remember, honestly. But I'm here to do it again because I have some books I'd like to read, but I am having a hard time prioritizing. So we're gonna self-destruct them if I don't prioritize them. And yeah, so also I'm in my jammies. These are going to be synonymous with 2023 Vlogmas because I feel like I'm in them all the time, but I really am a big fan of these jammies, so sorry not sorry. But anyways, let's jump into the books and I will tell you what books are going to self-destruct if I don't read them before this time next year. So the first two are actually by the same author, and I've had them since probably pre-2020. I want to say maybe 2019. Not sure it's been that long. It might just be since 2020. I only have one of them because the other one is wrapped up somewhere in my Vlogmas the board game book wrapping situation. But the first one is Devil's Club by Georgette Heyer, and the other one is Frederica by Georgette Heyer. So both of these are books that I bought because I read something by Georgette Heyer and I loved it. And I've actually read one other thing by this author and really enjoyed it. So I think I will enjoy both of these, but I just never reach for them. So I'm going to try to prioritize them. This one I think might be tricky because if I remember correctly, it's actually the second one in a series, maybe? So I'll have to look at that again to double check. If it is, then I'll have to read that one too. We'll see. So those two are going to be first, and they're just like Regency, maybe? Mysteries? Maybe romance? I really am not sure. It's been that long since I picked them up. The next one on the list, I also don't have to show you the physical copy because it's wrapped up as one of the books for Vlogmas, but it is Library of Legends by Janie Chang. And the fact that I haven't read this really annoys me because I've read a lot of things by Janie Chang, and I've loved every single one of them. And this is a book about books, so I 100% believe that I will love this, but for some reason it's just like never the book that I reach for. So I'm kind of hoping that I roll and get that as one of my Vlogmas books because I think that I'd be really excited about that. But yeah, this one is on the self-destruct list because I really need to read it. I've had it too long. I think this is another one I've had since 2020. And then I have two chunky sci-fis. The first one is The Shards of Earth by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is enormous, but I do find that his books are like really consumable. And I pre-ordered this. I didn't realize it was going to be a hardback, and I think that's part of why I haven't read it yet, is because reading a giant hardback is super annoying. So maybe I'll find the ebook of this and try to read it that way. But I want to read this and move it off of my shelf because it takes up like a lot of room. And then the other one is The Three-Body Problem by Chen Liu. And I've seen people rave about this and how incredible it is. And I picked it up at McKay's and it's just like languished on my shelf. So I need to read this. Well, my camera battery died. So sorry about the angle change. But yes, I need to read this one. I've just heard such really good things about it and I really want to read it. I think it's one of those that I just see around everywhere and I'm curious why. And then I have two books that I bought on recommendations. So the first one is The People We Keep. I bought this on the recommendation of someone from Instagram who raved about it and said this was her favorite book. and like talked about it endlessly for months. So again, I don't have any idea what this is about, but it came really highly recommended, obviously, and I just have never picked it up. So I feel like I'm gonna need to do like a try a chapter or something on some of these that I don't actually know anything about. But yeah, there's that one. And then the other one is The Romantic Agenda by Claire Kahn. And my friend Casey from Casey the Reader read this and really liked it. And then I was originally, earlier this year, going to do a video that was like reading books by authors named Claire, because for some reason I have like a really good track record of liking books by authors named Claire. So then when I saw this book was by Claire Kahn, I bought it because it was like a twofer. And then I started reading it actually when we were in Disney back in, oh gosh, no, I guess that video was going to be last year. So I started reading this in October of last year, and then just like never got into it and put it down. So I want to give this one a second try and then decide if I want to finish it or just get it off my shelf. And then I have The Saint of Bright Doors, which was sent to me by Tor.com as a ARC, and I haven't read it. This book came out in July of this year, so I feel like I need to just like give it a shot and then decide if I want to read it or go ahead and get rid of it. This is a fantasy, and I can't remember what this has this author written other things? Maybe. I'm not really sure. But fantasy is not usually my genre, so that's one of the reasons that I never reached for this. But also, I feel like when I looked on Storygraph, it had really good ratings. So, you know, we'll see. And then the last one is, it was sent to me by Counterpoint, is a finished copy of Requiem for the Massacre by R.J. Young. And this is about the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre. And I know nothing about, well, I know minimal because it's been talked about a little bit more like recently. But I'm just so bad at prioritizing my nonfiction. And this is one of the ones that I'm like, it was sent to me by the publisher. I need to read it or pass it on to somebody so that they can read it. It's not doing anybody any good just being on my shelf. When I was kind of trying to decide what nonfiction I might put on here, I actually read like the first 6 pages of this and was like hooked. So I think this one has a really good shot at being read very soon. I might actually read this in January, so there's that. But that is all of the books that I have on my These Books Will Self-Destruct list, and hopefully I will get through most of these and they won't self-destruct, but if they do, they do, and we'll talk about this again next year. So if you have any recommendations with this stack of like ones you've read or you know people have read and I should prioritize, I would love, love, love for you to comment that down below. And yeah, any books that you are going to be self-destructing yourself this year, tell me that in the comments too. Anyways, I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.